Good morning and welcome. It's Flag Day. It's June 14th, 2025. It's a warm welcome to my live stream here, Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. And hang on to your children. This is a live stream that I've been doing now for 20 months. And that's over a year and a half. And I do it twice a day. The morning show is Fight CPS with Bob Pace, and the evening show is Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. These two live streams have been happening twice a day. That's 14 times a week. And I've yet to miss one of them. And I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning on the weekends and 10 a.m. on the weekdays, Monday through Friday. And then every night at 7 p.m. I'm on. Now, these are 1 hour live streams, and it's all on the West Coast is where I'm broadcasting. So that's in Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead of me. If you're in Europe, you're 9 hours. England, I think you're 8 hours. But this is an international live stream, meaning that we also have, besides the states in the United States, we also have countries. We have 23 countries, including the USA, and it all deals with a government entity called the Child Protection System. That's CPS. That's why I define CPS as the Child Protection System. They're in every county in every state. So every state in the United States has counties, and they have one there. Now, in the world, I don't know how it's structured pretty much, but they have CPS in every city. It's basically child welfare. I mean, how our children are being protected from neglect and abuse. Those are the two things that they look for, neglect and abuse. But also, we're supposed to reunify the family if it's necessary to break the family apart, because studies have shown the best parents are the biological parents. Now, this is an interactive live stream, and it's you that can make this show good or bad. I can talk, I do talk about my case because I too was a victim of CPS and went through a horrible, horrible experience. I've also created 5 rules that will help you with your case. We can talk about that. There are also topics that we can talk about. The news of CPS, what's going on. Also, how to be better prepared to fight CPS. Yes, I'm sorry with the word fight because there are a lot of bad CPS entities out there. They're rogue entities. And no matter how hard you try, you may meet them and then they'll take advantage of you and upset your life and ruin your life. My life has not been the same since CPS got involved. It's sad. I've been fighting them now for 15 years. Now, the interact in this live stream, all you have to do is text me a message about a comment or a question about CPS. Or you can be on my live stream as a guest. I can take 9 of you. I'd love to have you as a guest. Or you can call in. Also, you can use emojis, smiley faces, thumbs up, hearts, even a star is nice. Now, there's topics, lots of topics we can talk about besides the news. We can talk about what is the purpose of a 388 motion. What is ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978? What happened in 1962? What happened in 1875? What is a 160 hearing? What is a 180 hearing? As a foster youth, how do you expunge your case? How do you purge your case as a foster youth? Because it seems like everyone that I've talked to, there's over 2,000 people I've talked to. Whether you're from Indonesia or Bangladesh or India or up in the Middle East and Libya, or Saudi Arabia, then over to Africa, Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Mozambique, and South Africa. Then up to Europe, United Kingdom, Denmark and Sweden, and then across the pond to North America, to Canada, to the USA. And by the way, in the USA, I've talked to all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. Then south of the border to Mexico, then down to South America, north of Brazil, on the East Coast, Grenada, then over the South Pacific to New Zealand, and the land down under Australia. The people in those countries are really remarkable individuals. They too are struggling like you all are in the United States. Whether you're a Lakota Sioux on the reservation Rosebud in South Dakota, or maybe you're a mother or father in Oklahoma or Alaska or wherever the state is, you all are struggling. Now, I'm so happy to see the first person to come into my room right now. It's Cruella do a trick. She's a dancer from Oxnard. And her case is in Ventura County. She has a home that she's trying to stay in it. Her family member, her brother's trying to evict her. She's already had her 2 babies taken into custody. And she's low income. That's what the majority of the people have is low income. It's not your fault. I lost my job in 2010 through no fault of my own, and I've been struggling trying to get steady employment. And that's a good question, Cruella. Every day it's a new beginning for me. It's like we go to bed worrying ourselves to death about things, or we struggle all during the day to stay positive, to do good things. But it is a beautiful day. Today's my wife's birthday. And I'm so lucky to have some of my family together. I still have my 2 boys that live with me. And we have a simple place now. It's really hard where I'm living because living in Surf City, USA, 3 blocks of beach is nice, but the cost of living is so much money. It's a lot of money live in Orange County, California, that's for sure. But Cruella, how are you doing today? And by the way, her real name is Felicia. That's her Cruella is her YouTube name. Now, I broadcast this on YouTube using the StreamYard application. And I have lots of things I can share with you and lots of things I can help with you. But I love the regular people, their family, like Cruella, that come in, can ask me questions, and I can help you. There are lots of things that I've helped people with. And we have someone that wrote me a really long message. Well, that's great. From Facebook, we have Denise Donahue. I lived in West Virginia My granddaughter has lost four of her children. This is a grandparent, not for physical abuse or mental abuse or not taking care of them. So I don't feel she was a good mom. I don't understand. She lost four of her children, so I don't know how many children. Okay, not for a physical abuse or mental abuse or not taking care of them. So I don't feel she was a good mom. So you don't feel she was a good mom. Well, what do you mean by a good mom? Um, she is pregnant again. Well, a lot of people get pregnant. It's very easy to get pregnant. And they're telling her that anytime CPS is come in and took your children, then you can never keep any of the other children. If you get pregnant again, it is it not mean that people cannot have a second chance? I read a story about a lady named oh, a lady named uh, Iloko's last name Indiana. They had a baby. I bet she's a good mom. Was a good mom. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. I was confused by that, Denise. And thank you, Krilla. I'm glad I'm able to help you. Well, you see, when you have a case going, you do not have more children. You have to abstain. And so, it takes two people to have a child. Now, I know you can do a test tube baby and those kinds of things. But anyway, it takes a sperm and an egg. And I'm going to be very basic. When love is in the air, people love to get together. Now, I'm not against about people making love because God created us that way. He created us to procreate and make people into the world. Well, biological change hasn't changed. It seems like guys are more, it's like the guy with his tongue hanging out all the time, and the lady always says, get away, get away, get away. But there are times that she enjoys the pleasure of making love. Now, this is not a show about saying don't make love, but we have to be responsible individuals. If you make love, you have to understand that there's a chance, even if you use birth control, that you will get pregnant. And if you do, both people have to be responsible for that child. That child is brought in the world innocent. That child, he didn't, he wasn't conceived. I mean, he was conceived out of the love there between the two individuals. So you have to be a good parent. You can't be a deadbeat parent and abandon your child. Well, what CPS is saying is that they took away your child because of neglect or abuse, whatever it is. So they say you do not have more children. So when she constantly has other children, the child protection system will take away the child. Will take away the child, Denise. You're a good grandmother. I know you love your grandchildren. And I don't know how many children your daughter has. She says she's had four children taken away from her. She's pregnant again. I don't know how many children. Also, I don't know if the fathers are still involved. You see, both parents are really important because they are the greatest people to raise a child. Studies have shown no other parent is better. Now, I do want to share with you, Denise, a grandparent's guide, which you are a grandparent. It's a guide to maybe get um, the guardianship of your grandchildren. It's a step-by-step guide for California. Now, all you have to do is go to the website. I have lots of websites I'm going to give you throughout the show. This one here is stand.store. It's a website that's got a lot of deals for my attorney, Vincent W. Davis. His picture is in the upper right-hand corner. He is an excellent attorney. He's an excellent attorney here. So anyway, Denise from West Virginia is telling me this story. And I'd like to share it with you all because I don't know if you guys can all see the Facebook things there. But anyway, this is a story from Denise from West Virginia, grandmother. Now, I'm glad you said that she was a good mother. Her 4 children were adopted by a very good couple. The CPS here in West Virginia is really, really corrupt, and they have had several cases. Well, I believe they're the rogue. They're the one of the bad ones out there. You're not the first case I've heard from West Virginia. But you ask a really important question. Now, before I let you go, hopefully you got down that guide there. It's a step-by-step guide for grandparents. It's also good for parents. And it's also good in any state. Now, Denise says, what can we do to see that this baby here can be with his mother? She deserves a chance. She did everything she was supposed to do and told to do CPS to keep her other children. I never could understand why they completely taken and adopted out. She's not given her right up. In the book of, I guess, rules that CPS has, if you have a case, ongoing case, you cannot have children. If you have children, they'll be taken and then adopted, which is wrong. There's a lot of wrong things. And I don't know enough about your story of your daughter, Denise, but you said she was a good mom. Well, what did they accuse her of? What did they accuse her of? And did you get an attorney to fight the case? And I don't mean a court-appointed attorney because the public defender is a waste of time. They're not schooled in the area of law. You see, law requires you to have experience in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those are the 3 areas of law that you should have. Now, I just put this message up about how to text a message to me. Should be in the form of a comment or question like Denise did. It should state your first name, which she did, and your city or county. I don't know where in West Virginia, but at least she got the state right. And if you're outside the United States, please list your country. Also, please tell me about the case, the CPS case, from the beginning to where you're at the moment. And that's one way you can interact. A second way is to request to be on the live stream as a guest. All you have to do is email my show producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com with the date and the time you want to be on her show. That is important, the date and time. Let me see here. Yeah, to be a guest, I can take up 9 of you. And her email is grace@vincentwdavis.com. You just tell her you want to be on Bob's Sunday morning show or I want to be on Bob's Friday night show. You just pick the time and the date. There's 14 shows. And then she'll send you a link to get on what's called StreamYard. It's the application I use to broadcast on YouTube. And it's a good link. And if you get knocked off, you can repost it again, repaste it again. And we don't allow profanity or the use of names of children, judges, or social workers. Also, we do not eat or smoke on the live stream. Those are some basic rules. She'll go over them with you. She'll help you with your camera. But the nice thing about that, you can talk about your story. I can take up to 9 of you. I can take up 9 of you. Now, another way is to talk, to call into my show. Now, my phone number is up. That's live. You can call me at 626 698 0990. The other number is the office number of Vincent Davis, 888-888-6582. Don't get confused with the two. With the 888 number, when you call in, you're going to get reception. Make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you. And if you want to talk to Vincent Davis, you can request a consultation with him. Make sure when you talk to him that you say Bob Pace sent you. Also, you get resources and times of live stream and whatnot, and everything else. Oh boy, seems the world never gives up. We just have a constant sadness in the world. We just had uh, 4 political people been shot, 2 have been killed. It's all happening in Minnesota right now. It's live. That's what the noise was in the background. And anyway, we have 2 countries going at it hard, strong, Israel and Iraq, and I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them. I mean, Iran. Why am I saying Iraq? Iraq is next to Iran. But anyways, it's it's hard. Anyway, uh, world is definitely, and here we are to talk about the child protection system. Wow. Now, boy, Denise is very well articulate. I need to catch up with her, and also Corella is talking. Now, Corella says, I'm all right. Miss my mom. I know you do. She's been missing. Miss my babies. Been sitting in my garage all night by myself, trying to get through, shifting through all me and my mom's belongings, preparing for maybe to move. I'm so sorry. This is terrible. Don't know where. Yes, you're right. You'd be homeless. I know what that is. I've been homeless. It's been so bad for me. I remember a time that for 6 months I lived in my RX-7. Sleeping in that car was terrible. I ended up in the hospital. Being homeless is a horrible, horrible thing. But yeah, you're positive when you sit there. You don't know where. I hope a new chapter is on the horizon. It will be, Cruella. Keep your faith in God and keep talking to me. Now, Denise says her 4 children were adopted by a very good couple. The CPS here is very corrupt. I understand that, Denise. Cruella says, I haven't heard from my brother's attorney or the courthouse about the pending decision on the eviction. Well, you need to still fight that because your mom owns the home and you've been living there taking care of your mom. You need to establish, and I know you don't have money for a real attorney, but you need to establish them with documentation and people. If you're going to do this pro se, if you're going to use that court appointed attorney, the public defender, you got to kick them in the seat of the pants. Tell them they have to perform for you, or you're going to sue them for negligence. Also, you can tell them that you report them to the state bar in Sacramento, that they're a bad lawyer, and they will investigate. Now, Denise says, what can we do to see this baby? Here can be with his mother. She deserves a chance. She did everything she was supposed to and told to do by CPS keep her children. I never could understand why we're completely taken. Well, the problem is you probably had a court appointed attorney. You probably didn't use a real attorney, and that's why. That's why. Now, Cruella says, I called my brother's attorney and asked if the commissioner made a decision. He said no. He was very short and rude, and as per his job description, his loyalty to the wrong side is quite impressive. Well, he's the opposing counsel. First of all, I'm surprised they even will talk to you. Opposing counsel will not talk to people that are represented by an attorney. If you're pro se, they will talk to you. But apparently, the the public defender is what you should be going through, Cruella. I know that they do nothing for you. Now, Denise says, I wish I could message you exactly what happened or case. Well, you can call me in. You can talk on my show, Denise. I'd love to have you from West Virginia. I'd love to have you talk to me. Oh, great. It was crazy. It was crazy doing what they told her to do, and they never did anything to help her get her children to where all this is. I feel that CPS was wrong how this happened. We cannot afford a lawyer. I know that. That is one of the worst things you can do in here. But I'm glad you found my live stream because I will help you. It may take time, but I will help you, Denise. Um, I will text you a message in a little bit with more deed. But the problem that I'm trying to resolve now is the fact that she's pregnant and really would like to keep her baby. It's ridiculous she cannot have to keep any children. She gets pregnant. Well, it's the law. It's sad, but it's true because they've now determined that the mother is unfit to take care of children. So that's why you cannot have a child and they'll take away the child. Um, I need to go and babysit 2 of my grandchildren. And I'd like to say that I really enjoy your broadcast, maybe because I can tell that you are caring. I do care. My heart really cares so much. And I'm very concerned. I mean a lot. I know that you need to get hope and get the answers. And I will try to help you. And thank you, Denise, for expressing that. Now, I have a phone number, so I'm live. So you can be uh, on the show. No question about that. Now we got some more people that have come to the room, and I appreciate you coming in there. You just have to ask me questions, Denise, and I will definitely help you. There's no question about it. But if you call in, and sometimes it's easier, you can talk about your case. Now, there's a story you're relating to that it's so sad, yes, but they let a baby in Indiana who plead guilty to a lady to kill her child, a baby in 2019, let her keep her four children and her three of them. Or anyway, it's just crazy. Yeah, I understand. There's different stories. There really is. Yeah, I understand. Good morning, Aline Cruz, and welcome to my live stream. Um, Aline is your name, but I have no idea where you're from. There's many places. I've been talking to 23 countries, over 2,000 people. So, um, and I'm very good at guessing. I assume that you're from the United States. But I'd love to know where you're from and a little bit about what your question is or comment or whatever it is. It's okay about texting. It's hard to talk and text at the same time. I'm getting ready to go see my grandchildren. I love my family. They're the most important thing to me. I just wish I could see my great grandchildren. Why, you will, Denise. Grandparents and great grandparents are kinship. They have rights. Kinship was disestablished in some new changes to the child welfare system in January. Um, One of the last acts that President Biden did, he signed into law on a Saturday. Some new changes to the child welfare system. You should look it up. There's lots of things. There's one important thing. Um, Let me see if I can find that new law there. Let me see what I can do here. um, oh boy, sorry, my throat. Let me see. New changes to child welfare system signed into law January 2020. Yeah, it's the House of Ways. Let's see here. I think it was January. Historical child welfare reforms and family support signed into law. That's by the House Means Commission, Washington, D.C. And it's called the enactment of this law will have a tremendous positive power impact on the millions of children and families. It is a bold and compassionate step towards letting lies, bettering lies, and paving the way for a brighter future. Um, Let me read that there. It includes policies to strengthen accountability with these programs, reduce the trauma experienced by children in foster care, and guarantee states can continue to collect needed child support payments are long overdue. They'll transfer the way Americans protects its youth and vulnerable families. Among the policies enacted has championed to ensure that children are not removed from homes or separated from their parents simply because the family may live in poverty. So, because you're in low income, and that's considered poverty. Um, I forgot. I gotta get some water here. That isn't a reason to take away children as it used to be. Numerous child support advocates and agencies, Native American tribes, and 26 state governors have stood shoulder to shoulder with Congress in pushing to see this effort succeed. They understand how these solutions will deliver historical enhancement to child welfare and to the quality of life for millions of our fellow Americans. The way our Means Committee has engaged all Congress bipartisan. So this further goes on. Uh, Let me see here. Here's the background on supporting American children and family. It's Title 4B, and it's HR 7906. That is the bill. It reduces administrative burden by requiring the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to reduce paperwork and date reporting for state agencies and caseworkers by at least 15%. Improves access for Indian tribes by streamlining funding as well as monitoring state engagement with the Indian Child Welfare Act. That's ICWA. It supports expansion of evidence-based services to prevent children abuse and neglect and ensures children are not separated from the parent solely due to poverty-related neglect. Address the caseworker crisis by ensuring caseworkers have access to training and support to improve retention and recruitment. Yes, we do have a lot of bad social workers, no question about that. It strengthens the support system for 2.5 million grandparents and relatives, providing kinship care for children who would otherwise enter foster care. So, what they're saying is that relatives and grandparents are kinship, and the children should be with them, not with a stranger in the foster care system. Improves outcomes for youth transferring from foster care. There are too many people that turn 19 or turn 18 and are kept in foster care, which is wrong. There's a lady named Danielle Watt from Georgia who had a child that was 19 till she finally could get her child home with her. He's of special needs and she had to adopt him because she needs to take care of him. So this transition from foster care to adult, you know, uh, should really be a lot more protected to the adults and support post adoption service by requiring HHS, the health system, to review post adoption support provided under Title 4B. And anyway, this is really good. It really good. The child support enforcement will support 13 million families, 18% of all children in the U.S. In the fiscal year of 2023, for every $1 spent on program operations, nearly $5 was collected for families. The program collects nearly $30 billion in payments from non-custodial parents. Conflicting law threatens the ability of states and tribes to officially run their programs using contractors. The bipartisan bill formally authorizes state use of contractors for the purpose of child support enforcement and gives tribes the same access to information needed to operate the child support enforcement program. The congressional bosses estimates the bill would save $770 million. That is really great. Anyway, this is recently, and I think I pointed out that the kinship is so much important. Is so much important with the kinship there. There's no question about that. And the saving of money is so, so important. Now, I digressed a little bit, and I went and talked about that for kinship, which is important for grandparents to know. Denise, this is directed to you. Now, Aline Cruz, I still haven't heard back from you where you're from or about your question or your case there. I'd love to talk to you more about that. And you don't have to apologize, Denise, about your text. I know it is hard, and you're got something else going. I'm glad you're still able to see your grandchildren. And right now you say you can't see your great-grandchildren. I don't understand why you can't see your great-grandchildren. That's wrong. So it is a federal case. You have to understand the health and welfare is a federal policy. What happened was in 1962, Congress enacted a law that social services, which is a federal entity, you have to understand, CPS is a federal entity. Even though it's run by a county system, it's federal because it receives federal funds. It has to follow federal laws. So it is. CPS is a federal entity. And there's so many things that you can research, that you can fight with them. Yes, what has happened is that this federal entity doesn't have any consistency. Meaning they created social services as the department, but there's no standardization. If you go from one state to the next state, that county entity may be different, and it shouldn't be that way. Same thing with social services. It should be all the same. But apparently a lot of them have found that money is more important because it's $1 trillion business that they make. The money frees easily from the federal government in the billions of dollars to the state. And from the state, it feeds in millions of dollars to the county. The problem is no one is keeping track of that money. There's a case in Richmond, Kentucky, where a social worker is accused of embezzling $400,000 of the $1 million given to the cabinet, which is the name of the child protection system in Kentucky. Because there's no accountability. There's no board of supervisors or board of directors. All there was a mandate to social services to create a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse. But they're also supposed to do what's called family reunification because studies have proven the best parents are the biological parents. So if those parents, have a hiccup, they need parenting classes, or they need a domestic violence program or drug rehab program, it's available. Not only is the CPS entity in every county supposed to do family reunification, they're supposed to give you support services such as food and shelter and clothing and transportation, education and medical, and even help you find a job. Those are all the services that are supposed to be provided to you if you're a family that is struggling. A lot of times the reason why you're struggling is because of some element that happened, a hurricane or a disaster is something that puts you in the predicament where you lost your home. It burned to the ground like in Los Angeles, or you wiped out in the heavy rains and storms that swept up the East Coast and flooded the coastal areas and went up the area of Tennessee and North Carolina and South Carolina and Alabama and Mississippi. And, there's a lot of hurricanes that come there and they ruin homes. Homes are washed down the river. And I wish somehow that FEMA would think about the idea of flying in portable housing. These are RVs or trailers or mobile homes that are sitting collecting dust up for sale. The value of those things are expensive, but a far lot cheaper than putting someone every night in a hotel. If you can fly those homes in and use the National Guard to transport them by helicopter, they can be designated to be on a concrete slab. And from that concrete slab, there's utilities there because a home was once there. So there's water and sewer and everything to connect up to those mobile homes or those RVs, the temporary RVs. If it's small, they need a small one. But what I'm saying is that there should be temporary housing provided for these people in areas of disaster. No one should be homeless. And I really think an easy way to clear up the homeless problem is to fund people to make mobile parks or mobile home areas where they can put a simple home that's fitted and put in there and they can live in there. So we need to help out people. We really do. And I have lots of ideas there. Now, I have about 10 minutes before my show ends at 9 o'clock this morning. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I didn't realize. I thought it had 10 minutes left, but it's 9 a.m. in the morning, and I have another show, Vincent Davis, who is my attorney, that he will be doing a live stream at 10 o'clock this morning on Saturday. Call into the office, 888-888-6582. Find the time and the link to get on there. You may have to join him, whatever it is. But I know I've been talking a lot here, trying to help out people in the room. And a lot of you need the help. And I'm so glad that I'm able to help you all here. Thank you, Christina Reynoso, who is still working in the background. She's one of my regular people from Las Vegas, Nevada. She's a wonderful person. And hello, Monica Jamarco. Now, Monica Jamarco, I don't know you, but thank you for the thumbs up also. And I want to thank all the people. I want to thank Denise for sharing, the grandma. Well, she's a grandparent. She has great grandchildren and grandchildren. And you have to keep coming here to help. I will help you. Have a nice visit with your grandchildren. And Eileen Cruz, I have no idea where you're from, and you didn't ask for anything further, but it's okay. You can come again. My next show, by the way, for people is going to be this evening at 7 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. And Denise Donahue is from West Virginia, and she was talking about it. Cruella Felicia from Ventura County lives in Oxnard. You just got to be very respectful and patient. And you need to find your mom. She's the key to you staying in your home if your mom can still talk. But Cruella is from Ventura County, and she lives in Oxnard, California. And I think that's all the people that have been talking to in my room here. We have one we don't know where they're from. So we had California, West Virginia, and one person from we don't know. But thank you all for listening. God bless you all. I want you to keep trying to fight for your children. Don't give up. I'm here twice a day. And if it's down, you need to be cheering up. I'm glad to cheer you up. I do care about you. talking to you, talking about ways to fight your case. I will help you. Remember, get an attorney trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law to fight for you. Document everything, video and audio. Try to meet at public places. Get a notebook, get tabs, and start that very important document on a piece of notebook paper. It's a timeline of incidents. It's a timeline of incidents that happen. And then don't talk to social workers. Don't talk to police. Don't let them in your home. Watch your medical trafficking. When you bring your child into the hospital, social workers are hiding out there. Research the internet. Research the internet. Spend a lot of time. Your answers are there. And gather up important documents and put them in a folder, such as birth certificates of children, your birth certificates, your driver's license, your shot records, your children's shot records, your children's grade reports, your marriage license, those things. Make copies, put them in an envelope, keep them with your notebook. Anyway, those are 5 rules. I didn't talk to them specifically, but there's tons of shows where I do talk to them in detail. And remember, I'm here for you. I care about you. And don't give up. Don't give up. God bless you. I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Please listen to a message from my attorney, Vincent W. Davis. Take care and have a beautiful Flag Day. Remember, our flag, our country. We love our country.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith in